Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II ruled for longer than any other monarch in British history. She became queen in February 1952 at the age of 25. The Queen holds a Guinness World Record for the most currencies featuring the same individual for her appearance on coins of at least 35 different countries. She also appears on the banknotes of more than 30 countries. We take a look at her changing face through the years as depicted on money. This first series Canadian $20 note features a portrait based on a photograph of the 8-year-old future queen, at that time Princess Elizabeth, the granddaughter of the then King George V. It shows a typical child of the 1930s, with the same short wavy hairstyle that has become the Queen's trademark crop. This portrait of the Queen replaced the portrait of her father, King George VI, on Bermuda's currency after she was crowned. She is shown facing the right, while George VI was shown facing the left on the notes. The country has since replaced her with local fauna and landmarks. This Canadian $1 note features an image of the Queen based on a photograph taken by the Canadian photographer Youssef Karsh. It is thought to have been taken in 1951, just prior to her accession to the throne in 1952. She would have been around 25 here with two toddlers, Prince Charles and Princess Anne. She still looks very youthful, although there is no trace of a smile, something that is rare to see on any banknotes featuring her image. This English 10-shilling note was the first and only issued Bank of England 10-shilling note to carry a portrait of a monarch. It was first issued in 1961, although the picture itself is said to date back to 1956. The Queen would have been just entering her 30s when this image was created. It shows a very smooth-faced young woman decorated in the crown jewels. This was among the first notes after Australia switched to the decimal currency. This portrait of the Queen in Buckingham Palace was taken by London photographer Douglas Glass especially for the $1 note in 1964. The printing of 150 million of the notes began about 10 months before they were due to be issued on February 14, 1966. In June 1973, British Honduras was officially renamed Belize, and in 1974 the first banknotes under the government of Belize went into circulation. This portrait of the Queen, however, is thought to have been taken from a photograph taken by photographer Dorothy Wilding in 1952 just after her coronation. The Queen would have been in her late 20s here and very much a royal in her prime. This note used an engraving based on a portrait of the Queen taken by photographer Anthony Buckley. The line work in the engraving used intaglio printing, made by cutting the design into the printing surface, as a security feature. This New Zealand $20 note was introduced in 1999, however, it features an image of the Queen probably taken by photographer Ronald Wolfe in 1986. The Queen would have been around 60 here. This note was made for the Queen's Golden Jubilee, her 50 years on the throne. It features a portrait of the Queen in her 70s as well as one taken at the time of her coronation in 1953. It also has an engraving of the rose window in Westminster Abbey, where she was crowned, in the background. The Royal Bank of Scotland launched this £10 commemorative note in 2012 to mark the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. This sought-after collectible note features the Queen at different stages of her life. The latest being taken at England's Epsom Racecourse in 2008. She would have been in her early 80s here and looks very much a happy grandmother. As King Charles III ascends to the throne, the succession raises questions about what will happen to money that features Elizabeth, and whether currency with depictions of Charles will begin to circulate. Coins and notes bearing the Queen will not be recalled, instead, the process will be a gradual one, and many coins marked with her portrait will remain in circulation for many years. In turn, Charles is expected to appear on coins facing left, in contrast with Elizabeth, who faces right.